Okay, question I had a while ago, a long time ago. Let's go back to the story about how I used to be a nice person and treating other people as being nice or over nice has usually a counterproductive effect on your social life. If you're too kind to people, all the time, you always seem to overstimulate the other person. So every time you put them higher than yourself in the conversation, right? Even if there's something you dislike about the other person, you will not tell them. I talk about something that you actually dislike, you continue smiling. What essentially happens is you smile when somebody is doing something positive towards you. That reinforces that behavior. And when you stop smiling, that should be an indicator of the other person having done something that you dislike. Like, for example, I start to talk about how I have this political view that in a manner you dislike, right? Or maybe you just dislike talking about politics. You should not be interested in smiling in that moment, because if you smile while this person talks, while I talk about politics, you will reinforce that behavior and I will continue talking about politics, right? You don't want that to happen. So basically it goes like this. You say somebody talks about something you like, you smile. Somebody talks about something you dislike, you frown, right? Now this is usually the symptom I had on being a nice person, or what I would consider being a nice person. I would just be overly nice to everything because I don't want people to feel bad about themselves. I don't want people to feel like I dislike some part of them, right? But that is not how you create a healthy relationship with somebody. Now actually, you write a lot about how you're shy, okay? And you open up later. It's good that you write that you're working on this part. It's good. Now, this is probably more like the problem you have. Like, how do I stop being a nice person? Doesn't seem like the problem you're explaining here. I think you need to stop putting up a facade of being somebody else while you're together with people. And that is nice. That is actually nice person behavior, because you put up the facade that you think people will like. That is false. People can detect when you're acting out of character. By being shy, you limit the potential negative effects you can have on the other person, or the potential negative effects that can happen. Okay, so this means, for example, you have become shy because being extroverted in some situations will give you a bad response, okay? You have to de-learn that. For example, when you were a child, you were told repeatedly by your parents that when you acted excitingly or how you felt like, that was a bad thing. Your parents told you, sit down, sit still, eat your food, right? And then you put up a facade that is not yourself, and only when you feel comfortable with the person or you trust the other person, then you take away the facade because you know that the other person will not judge you. This is a very bad way of going by creating friends. You should always be the person that you are, and that is a much longer process, like removing all these kind of barriers about your shyness and everything, but that is what you will have to do. Now, tolerance. What you want to do is that you want to put yourself in as many situations where you meet new people on a daily basis. Go to the street, go to places where people usually open up conversations with each other. Spring up a conversation on the train. I know it's really hard. I still hate doing it, but it trains your body into believing that it's okay showing who you are. And don't withhold who you really are in that situation, okay? Now find as many places where it's culturally accepted to act and to talk and meet new people. Meet as many new people as you can, because it builds up the fact that tells your body that it's okay to act out of character, to act like you feel like. It's okay to meet new people. It's okay to be who you are. That will help you open up to people more quickly. And you will see people lose interest in you very quickly if you're not acting as who you really are, right? So that's kind of your the analytics you can do. If you see people losing interest in you, it's probably because you're not really opening up for who you really are. Now there's a lot of other ways to do this. You can look up NLP. I can recommend that. Now, not all NLP techniques are useful for everybody, but some of them are definitely. Build some confidence. You can build some confidence, like I would tell a guy, start a business, become successful in your life. When you feel successful in one area of your life, it tends to propagate. And when you feel more comfortable being you, being the person you are, then you will also more naturally open up because you feel accepted by cultural standards. Right? I mean, I would probably also find a person that has the same kind of problems as you. We would call it a wingman in guys' language, right? A wing girl. Find a wing girl that wants to work on the same kind of problem, opening up and become less shy, become less a nice person. You can even read seduction books. I know there's a seduction book for girls. It's called New Rules of Attraction. I read a little bit about it. I wouldn't honestly recommend it, but it might be interesting to see kind of this extreme example of how women can improve their personal skills, right? On a biological level, it starts out all this way, okay? It starts out like people are dangerous. 30,000 years ago, a person that you meet randomly might kill you. So we're naturally reluctant to meeting new people. But this is also something that is in our culture too. So for example, opening up to somebody or talking about the weather can be seen as an awkward thing. Plus, you don't want other people to give other people a bad impression about yourself from opening up. So there's a lot of more things to this. It was just to answer the thing real quick. And yeah, find some interesting people.